There is a moment in every soul's journey when the world ceases to be a random collection of events and starts to feel like a carefully crafted dialogue. You begin to sense that you are being observed not by a judging eye, but by a vast, loving intelligence that is deeply invested in your evolution. Have you ever felt that sudden, inexplicable shiver when everything seems to align perfectly? Or perhaps you felt a heavy weight during a season of silence, as if the universe is waiting for your next move. The universe watches those who are ready to break the mold. It watches those who have reached a level of sensitivity where they can no longer ignore the subtle energies that vibrate beneath the surface of reality. 8. Being watched by the universe is the highest form of spiritual appointment. It means you are no longer just a passenger in the stream of life. You have been invited to become the navigator. Sign 1. Navigating the turbulent sea of emotional frequencies. The first sign that the universe has turned its full attention toward you is a radical shift in your emotional landscape. You find yourself navigating intense frequencies, moving through waves of fear, anger, or deep sadness, only to find yourself moments later in a state of inexplicable peace, love, and joy. For many, this feels like an emotional storm, a lack of stability. But in reality, you are a human radio being tuned to a higher station. 9. Think of your spirit as a delicate instrument. 3-4 years, you played the same 3 notes, the notes of survival, social expectation, and routine. But as the universe begins to observe you, it starts stretching your strings. It forces you to experience the full spectrum of human emotion because each frequency is a classroom. When you feel deep sadness, you are learning empathy and the depth of the soul. When you feel radical joy, you are remembering your original home. This indicates growth, evolution, and an increasing sensitivity to the subtle energies of the world. The recommendation for this phase is crucial. You must protect your energy. Just as a fine instrument is kept in a velvet case, you must protect your spirit from the noise of toxic environments and negative influences. Avoid the drama of the collective and follow your intuition. If a situation feels heavy or dark, it is the universe telling you that this frequency no longer serves your growth. Trust that your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is your spiritual radar. Sign to walking the lonely path of the chosen. The second sign is perhaps the most difficult to accept, yet it is the most profound indicator of your divine mission. You are walking a lonely path. You act and think differently than the majority. You find yourself questioning values, social norms, and the success metrics that everyone else seems to chase without a second thought. You may feel like an outsider even among your own family or longtime friends. This isolation is not a punishment. 1, 3, 4, 5. It is a divine pruning. Imagine a mountain climber. At the base of the mountain there are crowds of people. But as you climb higher, the air becomes thinner, the path becomes narrower, and fewer people are willing to make the ascent. The view at the top is only for those who are willing to endure the solitude of the climb. If you feel alone, remember that you are in the company of the stars. The recommendation here is to embrace your singularity. Stop trying to fit into a world you were born to change. Stay faithful to your mission, even when no one else understands it. Before we move on to the next signs, take a deep breath. Reflect on the times you felt out of place. Could those moments have been the universe calling you into your own light? As you continue to walk the path of the chosen, the signs of the universe's attention move from your external circumstances into the very fabric of your soul. It is no longer just about where you are, but about who you are becoming in the eyes of the infinite. When the universe watches you, it begins to alter your perception of reality itself, leading you to a state of being that is both mysterious and profoundly liberating. Sign 3. Possessing an ethereal detachment from the world. The third sign is a strange yet beautiful feeling of ethereal detachment. You may find yourself walking through a shopping mall, sitting in a business meeting, or standing in a crowded city square, and suddenly, a thought strikes you. I am in this world, but I am not of it. You feel like a traveler, a visitor from a distant star system who is here to observe the human drama without being fully consumed by it. Think of life as a vast, colorful tapestry. Most people are threads woven so tightly into the fabric that they cannot see the pattern. But when the universe watches you, it lifts you slightly above the loom. You see the threads of greed, the threads of ambition, and the threads of fear, but you no longer feel defined by them. You are the observer. You are the traveler staying in a hotel. You appreciate the comfort of the room, but you never forget that your true home lies elsewhere. This detachment is not a lack of care. It is a sign of transcendence. It means your essence is finally reconnecting with its divine origin. The recommendation here is to accept this feeling. Do not fight the sense of not belonging. Instead, use this bird's eye view to understand reality more deeply. Because you are not trapped in the drama, you can see the solutions that others miss. You can offer peace because you are not participating in the war of the egos. Sign 4. Possessing an enigmatic and powerful magnetism. Have you noticed that total strangers sometimes approach you to tell you their life stories, or that opportunities seem to find you even when you aren't looking for them? This is the fourth sign, an enigmatic magnetism. Even if you consider yourself a shy or private person, your energy carries a weight that others can feel. This magnetism is not about your physical appearance or your social skills. It is about your alignment. When the universe watches you, it polishes your internal mirror. You begin to vibrate at a frequency that matches the creative force of existence. Like a lighthouse on a dark night, you don't have to go looking for ships. The ships find the light because they need it to navigate. Imagine a magnet covered in dust. It cannot pull anything toward it. But as the universe cleans you through your spiritual work, the magnetic field becomes clear. You start attracting people, situations, and synchronicities that are in perfect harmony with your purpose. The recommendation for this gift is to use it with high intention. Your magnetism is a tool for influence. Use it to inspire others, to uplift those in darkness, and to catalyze positive change in your environment. You are a pillar of light. Stand tall and let your vibration do the work. Sign 5. Knowledge that comes from the void. The fifth sign is perhaps the most mystical. You begin to receive knowledge that comes from nowhere. You find yourself having sudden flashes of insight, or downloads, that explain complex situations without the need for logical analysis. You simply know things. You might know when someone is lying, when a path is dangerous, or exactly what word a friend needs to hear before they even speak. This knowledge does not come from books or from the intellect. It comes from your direct connection to the spiritual source. In the silence of your mind, the universe whispers its secrets. It is like having a high-speed internet connection to the cosmic library. While others are struggling to solve problems using only their 5 senses, you are receiving blueprints directly from the architect. Think of a radio. If the dial is slightly off, all you hear is static. But when you are perfectly tuned, the music is crystal clear. This gnosis or intuitive knowledge is the universe's way of guiding its chosen. The recommendation is simple. Trust this knowledge. Our modern world tells us to only trust what we can see and touch, but the universe speaks the language of the invisible. When that sudden knowing hits you in the center of your being, do not doubt it. Act on it. It is your divine compass, and it will never lead you astray. As these signs manifest, you may feel as though you are living in 2 worlds at once, the world of matter and the world of spirit. This can be exhausting, but it is also the greatest privilege a human can have. You are becoming a bridge. Before we move into the final signs of healing power and mystical connection, ask yourself, have I been trying to explain away my knowing with logic? What would happen if I finally trusted the whispers from the void? We have arrived at the final threshold of our journey. Until now, we have discussed how the universe changes your internal world and how it isolates you to prepare you. But the final signs that the universe is watching you are the most powerful because they involve your impact on the physical world and your direct, ongoing conversation with the divine. When you reach this stage, you are no longer just a student of the universe, you have become its partner. Sin 6. Possessing a healing and transformative power. The 6th sign that you are under the watchful eye of the universe is the emergence of a natural healing power. You may notice that your mere presence has a grounding effect on people. Friends, family, and even strangers seem to find clarity, peace, or emotional relief just by being near you. You have become a frequency anchor. This power doesn't come from a degree or a title. It comes from the purity of your energy and the depth of your empathy. Think of a room filled with discordant, out-of-tune instruments. If you bring in a single, perfectly tuned violin and play a clear, steady note, the other instruments begin to vibrate in sympathy with that note. This is how your energy works. Because the universe has tuned you through your trials and your solitude, you now carry a frequency of wholeness. When you sit with someone who is suffering, your energy reminds their soul of what balance feels like. You can heal through your words, your touch, or simply through your silence. The recommendation for this sign is to use this power consciously but carefully. Being a healer is a sacred duty, but it can also be draining if you do not set boundaries. You are a channel for the universe's love, not the source of it. Imagine yourself as a clear glass straw. The water flows through you to quench the thirst of others, but the water doesn't belong to you. Keep your straw clean through meditation and rest, so that the healing energy remains potent. Use this gift to restore balance wherever you see chaos. Sign 7. A continuous spiritual and mystical connection. The 7th and most definitive sign is that your life has become a living dialogue of synchronicities. You no longer see the world as a series of random, cold events. Instead, you perceive the constant guidance of a higher force. You see repeating numbers. You find the exact message you need on a random billboard. Or you meet the perfect person just when you are about to give up on a project. This is the universe's way of nodding its head, telling you yes, you are on the right track. This connection is not based on any specific religion but on a raw, mystical sensitivity to the universe's heartbeat. You have reached a state of flow. In this state, you stop fighting the current of life. You realize that the universe is not something you are in, but something you are. You are a localized expression of the infinite intelligence. And because you have aligned your will with the universal will, everything begins to happen with effortless grace. Imagine a sailor who has finally stopped trying to row against a massive storm and has instead learned how to set his sails to catch the wind. The same wind that once threatened to sink him is now the very force that carries him to his destination. When the universe watches you, it provides the wind. Your job is simply to keep the sails high and trust the direction. Follow the signs, listen to the whispers, and move with the rhythm of the stars. The road ahead. Practical recommendations for the awakened soul. Recognizing these signs is only the beginning. To live as one who is watched by the universe requires a new way of existing in the world. Here is how you can practically collaborate with this divine attention every day. Create a sanctuary of silence. The universe speaks in whispers, and the world is very loud. Spend time every day in total silence, no phones, no music, no distractions. This is where you receive your orders for the day. Master the art of energy boundaries. As your magnetism and healing power grow, you will attract many people. Learn to say no to anything that lowers your vibration. Your energy is your most sacred resource. Guard it like a treasure. Act on your intuition immediately. When you receive knowledge from the void, do not wait for a second opinion. The universe tests your trust by giving you small instructions. When you follow them, it gives you larger ones. Embrace the traveler mindset. When things go wrong in the material world, remember your ethereal detachment. Remind yourself, I am a traveler here. This situation is just a scene in the play. This keeps you from being sucked back into the low-frequency drama of the ego, closing a vision of your transformed future. You are not reading this by accident. If you have recognized these signs in your life, it is because your period of sleeping is over. The universe has been watching you, waiting for the moment you would look back and acknowledge the connection. You are part of a grand, mystical awakening that is happening across the globe. Do not fear the lonely path, for it leads to the most beautiful destinations. Do not fear your own power, for it is the universe's power flowing through you. You are a bridge between the seen and the unseen, a light in a world that is often dim. Walk with the confidence of one who knows they are being guided, protected, and loved by the very force that created the galaxies. The journey of the chosen is not always easy, but it is the only path that leads to true fulfillment. You have been observed, you have been called. Now, it is time to answer. Thank you for joining us on this deep exploration of the spirit. If these words have ignited a flame in your heart, please subscribe to our channel and join our community of travelers. Like this video to help spread this message to those who are still lost in the dark, and comment below with a sign that you are experiencing most strongly right now. We are all walking each other home. Until we meet again, stay aligned, stay sensitive, and keep your eyes on the signs. The universe is watching.